Good afternoon. This is
Not like
Good afternoon. This is Veterans Talk. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we want you to tune into every Saturday afternoon. I'm Elsa McGee, your host. I'm here with two of my best veterans in the community. I'm here with Tish from the Fulton County Veteran Empowerment Commission, and with Bernard Hodor with VBE, and he's here to talk about Camp Lejeune. We had some other guests scheduled, but we're going to talk about them, but they're not here. We're talking about Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr., and I'm sure he's trying to get here, or he will be here sometime in another show. And Michael Julian Bond, who is the point man for our Sons of Atlanta Vietnam Memorial Wall. We're going to be talking with him in the future too. But we're here today just to get you on deck with what we are about. What we're talking about today is the plight of veterans and the right of veterans in our communities. Less than 1% of the U.S. population ever served in the U.S. military. And less than 5% of those that serve ever used the VA. But we have a host of benefits that are earned by one term of honorable military service. And those benefits were designed for the veteran, his family, and the community. And when they are not getting these benefits, you got homeless veterans and veterans suffering in the community with property problems, credit problems, all kind of different issues that we're going to bring to the table. And one of the other issues that's concerning me right now, because I'm one of those veterans that use the VA for disability. And we're not getting those disability benefits because we don't know about them. And we want to talk about that problem in the community and how we can solve it. We're not just here to cry wolf. We are here to feed the wolf and solve some problems in our community. And we're going to start out today with getting some information about an issue that every Marine and his family need to know about. This is something that's, we'll be talking about the Agent Orange at some other time, but this is after Agent Orange came into being, the veterans that served, or the Marines that served at Camp Lejeune need to know some stuff. And we got a brother here today that can tell them some stuff. Bernard, thank you for coming on board.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. It's indeed an honor to be a guest on your live forum today. As you may be aware, there was 900,000 Marines and their family while stationed at Camp Lejeune was exposed to highly contaminated water. And a lot of these different elements are a lot of different cancer. Pastor.
Well, can you tell us, now we know that there is a register, right, designed to where Marines and their families can actually access this information. Could you tell us something about it?
Yes. There is, you can go to Camp Lejeune Water Survivor if you're, a veteran or family been exposed to this. And you can register right there on the site. Brian Ambergy is the point man for that. He's a Marine, also have been diagnosed with breast cancer, one of the issues leading with Camp Lejeune.
Okay. Now, there are a list of different ailments already acknowledged that contaminated water. Could you tell us some of those issues?
Well, there was a list. President Obama came on in 2012 and signed the Janney-Enzimer Act, which 15 conditions related to this toxic chemical. Without being real technical, you have a chance to get health care coverage if you only need to be on the base for at least 30 days. That's the minimum requirement. And you can also tell your family members they can register for help on the health register with Camp Lejeune water contamination.
Thank you, Brian. Now, this is very important because, for one thing, these ailments that veterans are suffering, and they don't have a way to connect that suffering with the they don't have a way of connecting that suffering with their military service. they need to call a VSO. Now, what is a VSO? A VSO is a veteran service organization like American Legion, DAV, AMVEX, Wounded Warrior, that can help veterans file a winning claim. Now, they can help you file a winning claim, but then the veteran also have to play a part in that because they have to get the information and make sure that these VSOs are doing the right thing. You can take our number because we kind of the rabble rousers in the community. We are with Vietnam Veterans of America, and this is our media voice. And we want to make sure that every veteran and every veteran family is getting the disability benefits that they earn when they need them. Now, with disabilities, that comes something else that we need to really talk about. But we got a caller on the line. Brother Michael, can you want to say something to? You got a question?
No, I didn't have a question. Just wanted to thank you for all of the work that you're doing in the community on behalf of the veterans. And I want to just thank the guest speakers today for taking the time out to really address the issues that face not just veterans of the past, but those just recently coming home from the wars in the Middle East. So I just wanted to, lend my support to this and all of the other initiatives that you stand for.
Well, we want to thank you for that because you're a part of those initiatives, especially with the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam Memorial Wall. We're going to be talking about that. We was hoping we was going to be talking about some of it today with Michael Julian Barnes, but he need to know that we're going to talk about it anyway. But thank you, Michael, for calling in and giving us that recognition. So thank you. We got some of the other things that bothers me or that concerns me with the veteran health issue. Now, during COVID, we learned that our community was dying crazy because of underlying health issues. And veterans, a lot of veterans died during COVID, a lot of them, because they had underlying health issues. And since I've been diagnosed with two new issues, ischemic heart disease and glaucoma, I become more conscious about the need to watch my health. And we got a veteran, a veteran now, this is a combat veteran too. She's so pretty, you wouldn't think they would put her in combat, but then she'll tell you about the military. Tease, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Well, my name is Trish, and I am a board member for the Fulton County Commissioners Veterans Empowerment Commission, but I'm also the co-founder of Veterans of Virtue. And what we do is we bring holistic wellness to veterans suffering from health and wellness, PTSD, and suicidal ideations. And being a two-time war veteran myself, it was very hard to adjust back to civilian life, right? Mm-hmm. Regular life after being accustomed to a war zone for a year and a half. Mm-hmm. And so not only was my mental health a challenge to get back physically as well, I suffered a lot, me and my battle buddy. And then we went on this journey of just trying to find holistic natural ways of healing ourselves of depression, PTSD. At the time, when I got off active duty, I gained a bunch of weight, as most do, because they're not used to waking up 5 a.m. in the morning anymore, running 2-3 miles. Yes. When you get free, you kind of free a little too much. Yeah. And so I gained a lot of weight. I was just eating whatever, and I really ate myself into a depression. And not knowing that, I was still suffering from a lot of the traumas that I had endured being in war twice. And so my battle buddy and I just went on this journey of holistic healing and eating better, eating cleaner, being conscious of our health, being more conscious of what we eat, the things we watch, the things we do, and how we handle stress, stress management, because stress is the number one killer of Americans, especially on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. is the number one time people have heart attacks, just because you're so stressed out about work, life, and everything else. And so I realized that the veteran demographic was not only suffering from PTSD a lot, but we're not really knowledgeable on best practices when it comes to our food health and our relationship with food and our relationship with ourselves. And so my battle buddy and I created Veterans of Virtue to bring that to the platform of educating veterans on wellness when it comes to PTSD and what we eat and our mental health, because we know that the VA, as much as they try to help, have not been a whole reliable source. So what we're trying to promote is doing for yourself, healing yourself. And I did heal myself from obesity, fibroids, hypothyroid, cysts on my ovaries, depression. And I healed myself of the traumas that I endured when it came to lack of sleep, or having dreams about what I had endured, you know? And so it was a holistic healing in the sense of the whole, WHOL, right? And the whole when it comes to the whole person, meaning my mind, my body, my spirit, my mental health. You know, you're not just a one-dimensional being, you are a three-dimensional being, your body, soul, your spirit, right? And so a lot of times we only focus on one thing and not the other. So we'll focus on mental health and, you know, we'll get treatment for mental health, but, you know, we'll eat horribly, not knowing that our gut is our first mind. That's where our real original thoughts come from, and then it transitions to our cognitive brain, you know? And so we can go, you know, on and on about that, but I know that that is a plight also within the veteran community when it comes to health and wellness.
Okay. Now, I've got I guess I'm going to play the devil advocate here for a minute. The VA, which is our watering hole for all veterans, you know, whatever generation, has a whole health program now that's national. So how is that fitting with what you see as a need for veterans? How is that project doing?
Well, I don't know exactly how that project is doing, but I still know that there is a gap that is missing when it comes to the VA. There's still something that's missing. There's still something that is not connecting. Why every, you know, hour there's a veteran or active duty member committing suicide. So you, like, every hour you can bet one of us is committing suicide. And that's not even on the, you know, I'm sick or I'm unhealthy. That's mental, you know, your mental health.
You brought up an issue that I really, you brought up an issue that I really want to highlight, and that is the suicide issue. Now, Bernard and I, just a couple of weeks ago, was out in Tucker, Georgia, where we actually did a procession with 22 ambulances with flag draped coffins to show the nation what you're talking about and how we need to be going about dealing with it. And I want to shout out to the Church of Redeemed, because we actually have had churches, we are getting churches involved with this issue, because it is an issue that's out of control. And what we were trying to do out with Tony Barr, and I want to say, hey, Tony, thank you for what you're doing. What we were doing out there is trying to bring attention to this issue, because it is crisis, and not, we think sometimes just about the 22 guys that's committing suicide and not about the 22 families that's involved with these suicides. So what we're trying to do is bring the community together in a way that we can educate and equip the families of these people, of our veterans that's committing suicide. And then we, in this symposium at the Church of the Redeemed, we got information that showed us that children are actually committing suicide. So us addressing this issue from the veteran perspective has opened up the whole conversation in the community about veteran suicide. So we're just hoping that that this program, this talk show, will open up the community in a way that we can start having dialogue about mental illnesses in the community, because we know that that's a big problem, and we are not addressing it as a community problem. and we need to do that. And so thank you for that that information. Now let me see. I think we got somebody on the line again. No.
They might have hung up.
Okay, they might have hung up because we got so deep into where we at right now. But what we're here today talking about the plight of veterans and their rights. Now, the plight of veterans in my hometown is pathetic in terms of veterans being homeless. You know, one of the things that we're addressing with the Fulton County piece is that we have actually gone out and lobbied and got Fulton County government to put up it's a start, $1 million
Yeah.
for veteran support programs. Now, what I'm hoping that we would get some of the people that's in the community that's already working on these problems to come together. Let's get this money, let's get these resources and come together in the community and work, focus on getting people off the street. Now, it bothers me to know that we got right this minute more vacant space with the lights on and the water running than we actually have homeless people in the streets. So what we have to do is lobby our elected officials like Marvin Arrington Jr. And I thank you, Commissioner, for stepping up the way you have. You know, you should have been on the show today to talk to us about it. But what we're looking at is ways that we can get the community together on these very essential issues that cut the community off from the veteran benefits that they need to address the problems in the community. Now, my organization is going full steam with addressing the homeless in Atlanta. We got a way to do it now. We're gonna hopefully get some of those funds to make sure that we can get veterans off the streets and into their disability grids so that they will have an income every month to take care of themselves and their families.
Right.
So we want to keep the focus on the plight of veterans, but we got solutions.
Right.
We're bringing solutions to the table because it's critically important that we understand when a veteran has a disability. Well, when they're sick, his family don't look at him as having a disability. They just know that they got a loved one that's sick. Right. Well, what we want them to do now is start thinking that when your loved one is sick and he served in the military, why is he sick? Right. Or why is she sick? So that we can get. Oh, I got a caller. Oh,
they just hung. There they go.
okay. Hello? Hello? We can't hear you. Yes.
How are you?
Okay. All right.
Man, I got a question.
Okay, what's your question?
My question is, I'm sitting here looking at the Veteran Service Program.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the April 21st workshop that's been provided, and what do we need to do to get involved?
Okay, let me try to explain to you what I know. That's why we was trying to get the commissioner here. You need to register. Go to Fulton County website. Anybody can go to Fulton County website right now, and up under this up under the program for this money, you have to register your organization. That's the first step you do, and you have to register to get this training on the 21st. And it is a Zoom training, but you have to register to be in that training, and that training is part of what you got to do in order to qualify for these funds. Now, to me, the minimum amount of the funds is $50,000, and the maximum amount for each agency is $100,000. Now, we need every agency in our community to be trying to get these funds so we can address the issue of homelessness together. So that's where we're at now. If you got any questions beyond that, I'm gonna say this: call Marvin Anderson's office. You know, he should have been here so he could answer the question. Now we're gonna send him straight to his office because that's his role. You know, is to help us. He help us guide it. We want to make sure that we can get the right information, because I'm tired of being a part of a community when we find out where resources are, they're gone. You know, and we that's what we're committed to make sure that's what Tish and I are committed to doing. Because we argue with all the folks on the commission already to make sure that they are doing it in a way that we know is fair. So,
now, my other question is this money just for veterans, or can other nonprofits tie that to veterans? How would that work?
Okay. Now, if you got a nonprofit that's doing something in the community that affects and helps veterans, you can get qualified for the funds. So I'm hoping. I know Reverend Caldwell out of Grace Ministries is going to file, because I hope he's looking to some whatever he got to do to help get some of this money, because what he does this anyway to feed those homeless veterans out on the west side, especially in the Fulton industrial area. So you don't have to be a VSO in order to get these funds. You have to have a organization that's already working in Fulton County with this issue. And you can go to their website today. And I'm asking everybody to go to the website. If you got any questions, well, call Marvin Arrington's office. Call Marvin Arrington's office. I can't answer all the questions. We had an opportunity for him to be here. And I know it got to be something really strange for him not to be here, because he's not camera shy. So we know that we're going to be here next week doing the same thing, because this is what we came here to do, is to make sure that the community get the issues and the resources to address these issues. And the only way we're going to do that is to have guys like you call in and ask questions. So thank you for calling in, Clyde.
Now, the other question is this. If you don't do this by the 21st, you can forget about getting any of that money.
If you don't be registered in that class, I'm thinking that's one of the criteria for you getting the money. So, now it's on the website, so it's no excuse for anybody not to do it. We didn't register. Vietnam Veterans of America has already registered. So we're already registered, and we done designated the 2 people that's going to be in the training. We got to understand now, we can lead the house to the... Huh?
Talk to me.
Well, I'm saying that you got to register. You register your organization and your people to go through the training. Follow the yellow brick road, and I think everything will be all right.
All right.
Okay.
Happy Easter, sir.
All right. Thank you, Bill. Have a happy Easter Sunday to you too. So the other part of this resources that we're thinking about, we want you to know what Tisha's talking about. Now, she got a package. Her organization has already got a package designed to help you. So, Tish, I'm going to go back at you again. Would you give them some information on how they can get in touch with you? And
Well, yeah. So we have these care kits that are specifically designed to create stress management, mental management, mind management, thought management. Really and truly, it's designed to help create a peaceful state of mind. Mm-hmm. And we have been dispersing them to veterans, and we've been getting overwhelming feedback about what it has done for them. Okay. And so we know that we're on the right track when it comes to just natural holistic health. So you guys can check out more about Veterans of Virtue and see the care kits on vetsofvirtue.com. Okay. Vets of Virtue, VETS of Virtue, VIRTUE.com.
Okay, good. Now, I want to go back to this Veterans Benefit Package a little bit before, because, time is passing, mm-hmm. and we're moving, but we're trying to get a lot of information out the first time. We're talking about veteran benefits, and right now the VA is in 2 different systems of filing, actually filing a claim and getting it understood and responded to properly. And it's so confusing. It is absolutely so confusing until we need to have Congress, and we're going to be asking Walnoff and Nikita Williams to help us with these issues, because these are federal issues with us. They run us around in tracks with these 2 systems. You got veterans filing a claim, and if they deny the claim, then you got to file an appeal. You file an appeal, and they send you a form and tell you this is the form that you need to fill out. Then you send that form in and fill it out, and then somebody 6-7 months later on come back and say you filed the wrong form. Mm-hmm. They can't process your claim. Right. We don't need that. But we have to know that. We have to see that, and we have to know that we got two elected, federal elected representatives that's willing to work in the community, willing to open up these things. So veterans that are having these issues, I'm saying now, right, call Reverend Walnoff, Senator Walnoff, call Nikita Williams, that's representing you, and let them know the frustration that we are having with the claim process. Now we just went into VA just went into the automated claim. Ooh, I've been waiting on this 75 all my life. Really, right now the VA is capable of receiving and handling the claim within 60 days. You know, really shorter than that under some circumstances. They can do it within a month. So you need to talk with your VSOs. You need to get involved with a VSO. And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna take this responsibility because I know Tony listening to me. I'm gonna let everybody call Vietnam Veterans of America right now. We're gonna help y'all get out to some of the others. So you can call me at 770-895-3260. Or you can do this. You can go to sonsofatlanta.org. I think that's one of the most impressive websites in Atlanta because it's about Atlanta. It's about the 240 young men that paid the ultimate price for the freedom that we have today, doing what we're doing here, to get you information, to make sure that you're getting your benefit. Go to sonsofatlanta.org, and on that website you can make a donation to what we're doing to help us keep it going. But you can also let us know that you need some help. You need help. You can leave a message on that website that you need help, and we'll make sure that you get the help that you need. That's why we're here. We'll make sure, absolutely sure. One of the things that Bernard would tell you, and we're going to let him talk about the claim process in a minute, but I don't file a claim unless I think I can win it. And that means I do the legwork before I file a claim. And so with that understood, Bernard, you have been with me for a while. We filed claims we've actually seen people coming at claims that didn't even know they had a claim, and we was able to get them benefits. So you want to talk to them about that for a minute? Right.
Yes, McGee, Pastor McGee, he is my pastor as well. There's a process in everything that you have to do. You have to go from point A to point B. You know, the claim process is no different. You have to just do what's right by VA. Oh, excuse me. Okay.
Go ahead, finish it.
Okay, by your local VA to get all the pertinent evidence so you can submit a winnable claim. Because a lot of people just go filing willy-nilly, no evidence or nothing, and that's sort of clog the system up, so to speak. So there's a claim process that you must follow in order to get a successful claim passed through.
Thank you. We got a caller, Gloria. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm blessed. Good to hear your voice, cuz. How you doing?
Doing great, thank God.
You want to?
Everybody on the line here?
You want to say something? We are on air.
Well, I just like to share the importance of our veterans. It is so important that we not forget the veterans, because if we think about the safety of the United States, the veterans were they were the one that was on the line, that risked their lives to make sure that we were safe by the grace of God. So we should not forget our veterans. We should make sure, I see people on the streets, and my mind always go back to, those are probably veterans who are now don't know what they need to do in order to get their benefits. They don't have anyone to share, like the young man just said. There's a process. No one has sat down with them to show them the process that they can get their benefits. They don't have to be on the streets begging. So it is so, I thank God for my cousin, Elsie, because he is definitely an advocate that God has placed in the vineyard to help veterans to make sure that they receive every benefit that they are due. I have one son that went through the struggle in order to get his benefits. And I thank God that he gave me a voice to speak out for my son, because he could not speak for himself because he was enlisted in the military. So as I received the knowledge from my cousin Elvie, I implemented those things that he was telling me to do to make sure that my son would not be, as we say, railroad. There are so many veterans that are being railroaded and not receiving their benefits. So this is a mission that we all must do. And I thank God that he chose my family to be a family who has gone through the struggle of veterans, who have gone through, I've gone through with one of my sons. He also is a veteran. And he went through a struggle. And I just thank God that he did not just stop fighting. You have to just stay in the game. You cannot let them not give you what's due to you just because you are in the military, but you have to have someone to speak for you. So I like to just tell all the parents, all the relatives, if you have young men or young girls in the military who have served the country, who are serving the country, always remember to be there for them throughout the step of the way, because it's so important. They need that family unity, that family love, that family that the military may not always give them because they're just a number. And because there's so many of them, they can't give that family love that we are supposed to give them. So listen to what they tell you, because there is some validity in what they're telling you. Don't just push it under the rug when they tell you something. Look into it, investigate it, and make sure that they are not being mistreated. They are not being deprived of what they are due because their behavior has changed, because they've been, I had one son went off to Somalia and captured those pirates out there. And when he came back, he was not the same. He went in the Navy in 2006, came out 2014 after losing his son, his 8-year-old son. When he came home, he was not the son that I sent off in 2006. So it is so important that we stick with our loved ones. Don't let them go. And when they get out and they're struggling, trying to get their benefits, be there for them. Write in a document, write your congressman, write everybody, write the president of the United States, because that's what I did. I wrote President Obama, and I got a response from the Vice President Biden, Joe Biden, when he was the Vice President. So don't stop until God answers your prayer and make sure that they get what they're due. My son now both of them are now getting their benefits. Thank God for my cousin, again, Elder. I cannot stress what he's doing for God's people and all the veterans. So he is a great advocate. He's a ball of knowledge as to what to do, how to do it in the right way to make sure that your loved ones receive everything that they're due, because they will put their lives on the line so that the United States could be safe, and we should not ever forget them. So if we see young men and young girls side the road, maybe that's a question that we have to ask. Did you serve the country? Because a lot of times the answer is going to be yes, because they're out there struggling because they don't know what to do. And therefore, we can take their hand and guide them to help them get their benefits. Thank you all. God bless you all.
Thank
and
you.
I love all of y'all.
Thank
Love
you.
you too.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, cousin. Now, let me tell y'all about this cousin. This cousin got 3 sons in the military, and her sister was in the military. So my family got a lot of veterans in it, and I think it's critical that we talk to these families, because I don't want to tell her story, what she went through with her son. You know, the one that she's talking about, DJ. I hope you listen to, bro. But you know, we have to do this. If we don't strengthen the families to help their loved ones with their benefits, he could have went another way. So truly, he was not able at the time. We was working on his stuff. He was still in the military, and they were trying to give him a bad discharge. So we were fighting against all of that kind of stuff. People just don't know the cost of freedom until they start looking at veterans and what they've done and what they are doing. So I want to shout out to my grandson, who's still in the military and over in Germany right now, and doing what I'm proud that he's doing, like all the other young people in the military, serving for this country. And we should not forget about them. Now, what I want to twist a little bit here now to talk about is the Sons of Atlanta Vietnam War Memorial. I have to, because for the first time since I've been doing this project recently, I met Harold Thomas. I know Harold probably listened. Me and Harold come out of the same neighborhood. We didn't know it. And the guy that I raised up for my reasons for pushing the Sons of Atlanta was Lewis Harmon. Well, Harold knew Lewis as well. So, you know, he looked at the website, and he recalled that Lewis didn't make it to be 21 years old. He was killed. He would have been 21 in November, and he was killed in April, the same month that Dr. King was assassinated in Vietnam. And Harold reminded me that we forgot how young these young people were. And what we started talking about, they were young, but every year when our high schools graduate, we got young people coming out of our communities going into the military. We need to know exactly what their plights are and what their rights are. If we don't know that, then we cannot properly address the situation for our loved one. The Sons of Atlanta Vietnam Memorial Project is about the 58,000 that was killed, but we brought it home to Atlanta because they have never been lifted up as heroes. You know, Lewis has never been. We never had that conversation at Washington High about the 6 guys from my alma mater, Washington High School, that paid the ultimate price for the freedom that we enjoy in this country every day. So we want to make it a hometown thing so that people will really begin to understand what my cousin just got through sharing. You know, we got young people going into the military and they don't come back whole.
Yeah, I mean, I joined when I was 16 years old. You know, my parents signed for me, and like the day after I graduated high school, I was off to basic training, you know, and going into wars, as your cousin said, you know, it's going to change you. There's no way you could stay the same going into a war zone, because truly the human psyche is not designed to be in a combat, you know, threatening environment for that long period of time. So that alone is going to change you. And not to mention whatever that you experience over there. You know, I experienced close calls over there too. That's going to change your mindset. It's going to change how you even see life itself, you know. So, you know, if you have a family member that has, you know, been overseas or been deployed, you can't treat them the same. They're not the same person. You can't have the expectation of them being the same person, because I guarantee that they're not.
And I'm going to say this. I want people to understand that it's not just war that changed people
at all.
In the military. Bernard went to Camp Lejeune. We got one of the guys in our group that's where he went, and his whole career was destroyed at Camp Lejeune from drinking the contaminated water. He wound up getting into trouble because of the behavioral effect that was not even recognized. But now, can you talk about this a little bit, man?
Okay.
So I want people to think you got to go into a war zone.
No, right. And I have to make that correction. It doesn't take a war zone for you to experience something, you know, traumatic.
Well, I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I know how. And Camp Lejeune was a situation where the government knowingly and willingly knew that this area was contaminated at Camp Lejeune. And also, I served in Camp Lejeune as a personnel administrative clerk in Camp Johnson. So I was very articulate and very knowledgeable what my jobs and what my assignment was supposed to be. So I get this thing, well, you're going to D.C., so I'm like, hoorah, hoorah, I get to D.C., I'm pretty good student, 1 and 2 students at Camp Johnson, at Camp Lejeune. I get there, and to make a long story short, I got there and I just fell apart, not knowingly that I was physically exposed to water that was over 100 times the level that it should be. And as you know, Betrayed But Trust is the book that you can order and learn about this exposure. These are very nasty disability, folks. I have suffered from neurobehavioral effect, and I also suffer from prostate cancer. And I'm just coming back from 39 rounds of radiation. And so I am affected alongside of just about every family member that was stationed there at Camp Lejeune.
Are there any legal action that you can take?
We're going to, it's past the House, it's the PACT Act, P-A-C-T. And it has passed the House. Now it's getting ready to go for the Senate. So we're trying to push for 10 Republican Senate to be a bipartisanship to this bill once it comes to the Senate. And once it passes the Senate, of course, the president say he will sign it.
But what would be the benefit of that? Like, I'm talking about suing to get compensation for you and
well, actually, there are TARP claims. Okay, there are TARP claims that you can file for damages that you substantiate while you was at Camp Lejeune.
Okay.
And I want to say it's not just Camp Lejeune.
Right.
I want to make everybody understand we've kind of focused a lot in one show, but most of the people that I know that came out of Atlanta went to Fort Benning and then Fort Gordon, Georgia. Fort Gordon is contaminated by Agent Orange.
There's a lot of military.
And they're not recognizing this. Now, one of the things that's going on now, you talk about legislation, and you got a bill in Congress. It's called the Thailand Recognition Agent Orange.
Absolutely, yes.
There are over 40 other locations. 40 other locations in this country, that are not being recognized, and veterans are getting sick and dying because of the same thing that. Now, I was in Vietnam. I was wounded in combat in Vietnam, and I was exposed to Agent Orange. So there's a presumption that my heart.
Everybody's phone going wrong. Everybody got Amber Alerts.
Oh, that's the Amber Alert.
They ain't mine, cause mine cut down.
Mine cut off.
Mine was cut down, but I had to. Anyway.
Atlanta, my Amber Alert. LICCFL 5977.
But what I was about to say, we have all these different locations there where Agent Orange was actually spread and transported, and guys. And one of the guys in the studio today, we have his case, and it was at Fort Gordon. Right now, he is 100% on pension when he should have been 100% on compensation. I want to get people to understand the difference between pension and compensation. There are 2 disability grids at VA. There's the non-service connected grid and the service connected grid. The non-service connected grid is called pension, and it's driven by household income. If you got too much income, if your wife got some income and you got too much income, you can't get it. But now, with compensation, it doesn't matter about your household income because your disability is brought on by something that happened to you during the military or as a result of that military service. Now, we got to get the community to understand that Fort Gordon was contaminated. We had hundreds, if not thousands, of veterans that went through Fort Gordon that developed the same cancers, diabetes, Parkinson, all these different heart diseases. Same thing I got from Vietnam. Mine's being recognized because I was in Vietnam. What about these guys that were shipping this stuff to Vietnam? You know, they picking it up, handling it. I didn't handle it. I stood up in it because I thought it was God sent. Because what it did, it killed the bush. So it allowed me to see the enemy. I'm in combat. I'm in the boonies. So I need to see beyond the bush. So when they start, I call it in, matter of fact. At the time, because we were in the middle of battle. But now, 50 years later, I got a disability as a result of that service. You know, Kenny got a disability as a result of his service. Mine is being readily recognized. His is not. This is why we got Veterans Talk. And we say it ain't nothing but a thing, but it's a thing we got to deal with because it's our thing. We have to recognize this. It is our thing. And it is not only disrespecting the service that we render to this country, it's actually undermining the benefits that we are due, that our families are due, that our communities is due. So we're here today. This is kickoff time. We're just kicking it off, Keisha and Bernard. We just starting the conversation. You know, we got a discussion going in the community, and we're gonna keep it going because it is essential. Because my cousin calling in now, she didn't tell she had 3 sons that went into the military and her sister. Her sister didn't have the kind of stuff that her sons have. She got 2 sons that are disabled. But before they got the disability, they had to take care of them. Right now, she is taking care of his children because he's in a rehab program. You know, so we not look at the impact of the lack of disabilities to a veteran as a short change. Now that's the name of my book. I want to say that, you know, short change to the whole family community issues economically. If the VA is getting $200 billion a year as a budget, they shouldn't be denying veteran benefits.
Right.
We got to talk about this, folks. This ain't no joke. This is stuff that we need to have conversation. We need to have. This is what I call a dinner table kind of stuff we're trying to create. We want people around the dinner table talking about their veterans coming back into the community. Listen, one of the things that hurt me when this boy Hill got killed out in Decatur. Now, what kind of issues he was having that his family didn't know how to deal with him getting naked, going out in the community and getting killed? That was a suicide. That you know, we talk about the veterans that commit suicide by their own hands. We're not talking about the ones that make the police kill them.
Right.
We have to understand if we're not having this conversation, we're not going to be able to understand the issues in our community and help our people do what they need to do. The benefits, the resources are there. We know it's there because you and I just went to Fulton County and we got the Fulton County and said, okay, well, y'all, we need to keep y'all from talking here. This, that, y'all with $1 million. That ain't nothing but a drop in the bucket. But it is a start that we want to finish. We want to make sure that community is getting the resources it needs to deal with the problems that veterans are in our communities. We shouldn't have that 22 veterans a day committed suicide and their families left just really in shame because we think that some kind of way a mental disorder is something that we can't address. Right. They got all kind of resources to address that. VA got a hotline, but is it going into our households? We got to make sure that what we are doing today, we keep doing it. So we looking for people to sponsor the program, to sponsor the show. You know, we got a big audience. We got 700,000 veterans in the state of Georgia. So we got a potential to make a difference. We need your help. We're asking for your help. We're just ecstatic about being here at the first show at live TV broadcast through Status Network. And we are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and some more stuff. So it's not that we ain't putting the information out now. We just got to make sure that the community know we are here every Saturday evening to make sure they're getting the information and the assistance that they need to get the resources to help make a difference. So I want to thank all the guys that showed up today. Blake, I keep give me the name. Vigil, who's been working with us for a minute now. I get it right one day. Because, I recognize that I'm old school. I'm 75 years old. I'm Vietnam era. So the technology that we need, I'm not all that familiar with it. So I bring Tish and bring Bernard to the table, and they make me look good. So I want to just thank you, and thank you, Kenny, for being here, and my sidekick and my brother, Tony. But I couldn't do it without you. Thank you.
And thank you, Rev, a local hero, hometown hero. Thank you for all the work that you do.
I ain't no hero.
You are a
get
hero.
kind of
Nah,
twisted
you're
when I
a
say
hero.
that,
Nah,
because,
accept it. Just take it for what it is, but your work is appreciated.
I just thank God for allowing me to make it through Vietnam and make it through prison. We're going to talk about that one day, too, about the number of veterans coming out of the military going to prison.
Yep.
See, a lot of people see me and they say, "Hey, you ain't do that." They don't know what PTSD is. They don't know the impact of PTSD and how it can affect your health, your family, your behavior, and everything that God meant for you to do. But you know what? Through it all, God is able to bring us back. So I want to close the show with that.
That's right.
And I'll see y'all next week, folks.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Ooh, we did a show.
Yeah.
We did a show. I don't know what it looked like. Blake don't look like he was all that excited about what we did. Jack is Douglas High School.
Douglas
We
High.
got 2 Douglas High School people now, so we got to be careful about what we say about Doug. Okay, we got to be careful what we say about Doug. But we know that we got a lot of good high schools in Atlanta, man. We're gonna raise them up, and we're gonna help get them high schools to help us get these kids knowledgeable when they're getting ready to go into the military, so they know how to protect themselves.
If they choose that journey. If they choose
If
to
they
go in the
choose that
military.
journey, and I
But they
hope
have
that-
all the knowledge first to make an educated decision.
Educated decision.
Not joining out of ignorance.
See, that's why we work with all these junior ROTCs in these schools, man. I get a kick out of messing with the kids. They got the little uniforms on. They be stiffing too, man. Because you know what, they got a heart to serve.
Right.
And we should make sure that their service is not rendered, moot. In a lot of cases, you think about these people up under the bridge, that service been rendered moot. It don't mean that.
Congratulations on your first show.
Man, I've been.
Keep talking.
Oh, keep talking. Oh, I thought we was off the air. We was talking all this stuff. But anyway, we want to continue this this journey, and I want to thank all the call-ins, Michael, and I want to thank Denise. She's watching. Now I'm hoping one day we'll talk about her case because, we got some things to educate the community with. Because these folks are taking money from us that thought they're going off. They robbing us by ignoring us. They ready to robbing us through the claim process. Okay, all right. So we are here today, and to be back here next week with live TV, broadcast by Status Network, right down the street from where I live too. Tisha, I want to compliment you for finding this place and kept telling me about it. I said, "Well, we got this program, we got all this, and ain't nobody moving." But Jack moved right on us, man.
Yeah.
He came and educated me and showed me, and we came up here in the studio, and I was just amazed because me and Tony been going into the studio trying to put stuff together. Me and Tony and Blake were trying to put it together with bubblegum. With bubblegum and chewing gum. So, but we got it. Today we made our first step into reaching the population that we want to reach with the message that we want to reach them with, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing. That's absolutely a blessing. So
See y'all next week.
Next week, folks. Tony, be up next week. I ain't gonna, Keisha, you can be in the audience next week since you always like to sit on the curb. No, I'm just kidding. 'Cause I push you up, I'll push you up to speak.
Push me on the stage.
Well, you know, but I'm gonna tell you something. The sisters gotta be able to step up too, because you know they're almost invisible. Oh, goodbye. The rest of the day.